everybody, let's cut some fabric using my Go Big electric fabric cutter from AccuQuilt. Now to get it started, what you're going to do is it does come with a dust cover. So we're going to take this off, and all I would need to do is lay it on its side, and then this part flips open. Let me flip it on open. And since I got the Go Big electric, the only other thing you're going to need to do is plug in your power cord. So right now I'm at my ironing board, and I went ahead and ironed out a fat quarter. And once I'm done, what I'm doing is I am taking my template for my 2.5 inch strips, and I'm just putting it right on my ironing board. And normally I don't like making jelly roll rugs out of fat quarters. It's kind of a pain, but every now and then the fabric winks at you. So look at this, how fun. So this is for a Halloween one later. I digress. So my biggest fear before purchasing the AccuQuilt is I was scared to death of wasting fabric. So on this part, I do take a little longer, probably because I'm newer at it, and two, I'm very paranoid. I want every inch of this that I can get. And when I manually cut fat quarters, I can get 7 mini strips out of 1. So I want to make sure I get that same amount. So now that it's nice and ironed, what you want to do is your black lines are like your gauges. There's no razor blades or cutters where the black is. These little gray slits that you see here, that's where your actual cutting, that's where your actual strip or your razor blades are to cut. Can't talk today. But I want to line my fabric right on top where that black line starts. So I know it's right where those blades are going to start cutting. And what you do is you would fan fold it. So I want to make sure this line here is right close to where that first cut's going to be. So let me get it, because I want it all. Fabric is expensive. I think everything's expensive. So I want to get every penny's worth. So I'm going to fold this over. And while I'm folding, I am looking for that other line on this side. So let's see. There you are. And I just want to make sure we get it nice and covered. And then again, I can fold it on back because I can get that last cut in here. Let's see. Let's see, should be okay. Let's see. And I take forever. Hopefully I'll get better at this. And for my yardage, I do think I found a good little cheat that I'm going to show y'all in just a minute to help make this easier. There we go. Okay, I think we got it. So once you've got your fabric in place where you feel comfortable, what we're going to do now is take the kind of, I think it's a cutting mat, the little topper. Whoop, we're going to put that right on top. And now it's ready to put into our go. I'm going to give you a better angle of the go, but I wanted to pop in real quick and show you the setup that I made at least. So this is my ironing board, and this is where I'm doing what y'all saw. Once I'm ready, all I'm doing is turning around and feeding it into the go. So if I wasn't explaining to you guys every step, this is much quicker than you would think. I'm just doing this bloop, and plopping it in. Let's go. Okay, so now all I'm doing is taking our little setup that we did, and I'm just feeding this into the rollers right here. Watch. And then I do nothing. I just wait. Now you're going to want to make sure you have enough space on this side for it to clear through though. Okay, so now it's the moment of truth. I've left it in a spot from where it came out from the Go Big cutter. So we take our little cutting mat off, and we should have 7 strips. Let's take off our extra. Now look, this is all the fabric that I have left from not the strips, if that makes sense. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 strips. Nailed it. And again, I take a lot of time fan folding because I fear I'm going to get it wrong and not get everything that I can out of it. So for me, double checking is worth it when this is the only fabric that I have that's wasted. Now, sometimes in between cuts, I've noticed you can kind of get little fabric fuzzies. And if I see that, I just usually get a lint roller and just pick it right up and get ready for the next one. Okay, now whenever I do 1 yard cuts, I do things a little differently. Now this is something I put together. It has nothing to do with the instructions. So fan folding a yard of fabric, in my experience, is very difficult and stressful, and I don't like it. So I actually took a piece of the box that the AccuQuilt came in and cut out. I'm still trying to see what's the best size, but currently this is 7 inches and 3/4, or 7 3/4 inches. So what I do is take the end of where that fabric is, and you're gonna want that cut to be straight where you start. And because the AccuQuilt can cut up to 6 layers of fabric, of cotton fabric, I'm gonna flip this over 3 times. Since this is already folded over, salvage to salvage, this is already 2 layers. So I'm gonna put this, and I find if I take it all the way to the end of the table, it's easier for me to flip. So I'm gonna flip it, take a little more. 1, so that's 1 and 2. And take it to the end, and then I'm gonna flip, make sure it's lined up one more time. 1, 2, 3. So then now I have my 6 layers. I'll grab my little die cut and line it up, and then I will just slip out my cardboard. I found that that's way less stressful than trying to fan fold it. I haven't decided if I like the 7 3/4 yet as a perfect size, but once I find it, I'm gonna get it cut out of plexiglass. And then from here, I put my cutting mat on top, and you'll see here, I'm leaving the extra fabric on the side, and I'll show you once we get to the cutter why that is. Now, as you can see here, the cutting mat isn't as wide as the space it has, so I was able to roll up this extra fabric on the side, and now we can put it through with it. I don't have to worry about any of the extra fabric at the moment. Now, from here, I haven't gotten the perfect setup yet. That's why I'm saying I kind of want to perfect my little system first. But as of now, this is the only, maybe I kind of got it. This isn't so bad. This is the only wasted fabric I have on the one side. So let me take out my strips. Oh, let me show you what happens. You have to be mindful of that black line, because even though I nailed it on the fan folding, right up here at the top, I'll have to get scissors. It didn't quite catch, but that was my fault, because I started it a little bit after this black line. Now with that first run, I was able to get 6 strips. And then now, because I only have a little bit left, I won't need that cardboard. I'll just put it down and flip over the remaining. But this will still allow me to get 14 strips out of that yard of fabric. Now, I still haven't had too much experience with it, but so far I'm loving it. And fortunately, I was able to get a lot of remnant fabric on sale. So that's going to give me a lot of good testing runs. So I'm excited to keep this going. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what else you want to see.